The Cold War was a time of extreme paranoia. America and Russia were racing to build the ultimate weapon. But one weapon was invisible, silent, and completely inside the mind. The CIA spent millions trying to read Soviet secrets. They called it Project Stargate. It all started with a strange rumor in 1972. The CIA heard that the Soviets were researching telepathy. They feared a massive psychic gap between the two superpowers. Fear drove the CIA to do something unprecedented. They decided to hire psychics to spy on Moscow. The agency contacted the Stanford Research Institute in California. They needed scientists to prove if remote viewing was real. Remote viewing was the ability to see distant, hidden locations. The scientists found a man named Ingo Swann. Ingo claimed he could project his consciousness anywhere on Earth. To test him, scientists placed a target in an elevator. It was a simple piece of heavy metal. Ingo closed his eyes and focused his mind. He described a small object hidden above the elevator. The scientists were completely stunned by his accuracy. The CIA immediately handed over a briefcase full of cash. Soon, the military wanted to use Ingo's brain. They gave him coordinates for a secret Soviet submarine. The submarine was hidden inside a massive building in Russia. No satellite could see through the giant steel roof. Ingo sat in a dark, quiet room. He drew a massive crane lifting a dark cylinder. He drew the cold water surrounding the hidden base. His drawings perfectly matched the CIA's classified satellite photos. The intelligence agents could not believe their eyes. The project expanded rapidly over the next decade. They recruited police officers, soldiers, and even housewives. One of the best psychics was a man named Pat Price. Pat claimed he could see through walls and across oceans. The CIA asked Pat to find a kidnapped general. Pat described a red barn on a dirt road. He even described the exact room where the general was held. The military rushed to the location and found the general. Pat became a highly valued intelligence asset. But the psychic world was incredibly dangerous. Pat suddenly died of a heart attack shortly after. Some conspiracy theorists believed the Soviets poisoned him. Others believed his mind simply burned out from the stress. Despite the risks, the CIA continued the experiments. They tried to use psychics to look inside foreign embassies. They wanted to read the minds of foreign diplomats. The results were incredibly inconsistent. Sometimes the psychics gave perfect, life-saving intelligence. Other times, they described alien bases on Mars. The CIA spent over $20 million on these tests. Skeptics within the government began fighting the program. They argued that psychic spying was a waste of money. The believers argued that even a small success was worth it. In 1995, the CIA finally commissioned an independent review. The scientists studied thousands of remote viewing documents. Their final conclusion was harsh and definitive. They found no evidence that remote viewing actually worked. The results were no better than random guessing. The CIA immediately shut down Project Stargate. Millions of dollars were lost to a psychic dream. But the story does not end there. The CIA declassified thousands of pages of documents. Reading them today feels like stepping into a sci-fi movie. There are detailed drawings of Soviet submarines and hidden bases. There are frantic reports about psychic assassins and mind control.
Some of the drawings remain classified to this day. We may never know the full truth of what they saw. The human brain remains the most mysterious object in the universe. Perhaps the CIA was simply desperate during a paranoid time. Or perhaps the greatest weapon ever discovered was inside our minds. The Cold War eventually ended without a nuclear exchange. The psychic spies quietly faded into history. Some of them wrote books about their experiences. Others refused to speak about the project ever again. The Stanford Research Institute moved on to other projects. But the legacy of Stargate still haunts the intelligence community. It proves that governments will try anything to gain an edge. They will cross boundaries of science and sanity. In the end, the mind was a battlefield that could not be conquered. And sometimes, the strangest secrets are the ones we keep from ourselves.